Meet Mike and Mercedes. Back in 2013, they were trying alternative methods to dating. The prospects looked slim. They had even briefly considered entering a nunnery and a monastery until they realized they also had to give up all their worldly possessions, and neither was willing to give up their bling. Fortunately for us, they both swiped right. They swapped digits and got to know each other over the phone for a while, before either was brave enough to go on an actual date. Their conversation was never lacking. They talked about everything from kids to politics. Mike finally took the plunge.
Do you want to meet?
Sure. That sounds great.
The two had their first date at Island Prime. They had a lovely date, gazing into each other's eyes, and meet. Could this be love? When they left the restaurant that night, they both were feeling each other, not literally. Yet. Get your heads out of the gutter, folks. As Mercy got closer and closer to Mike's house, panic started to set in. What was she doing? Who is this guy anyway? She can't possibly like somebody. Mike, like most guys, was just thinking about how lucky he was going to get tonight. Mercy's panic got the best of her. She kicked Mike out of the car and sped off. Most guys would have said next, but not Mike. He was kind of into this chick and was left wondering what happened. After a couple of days, he called her to check to make sure she was okay. That's all it took to make Mercy give him a chance. For the next 2 years, Mike and Mercy connected periodically. Sometimes Mike would have Mercy over for dinner at Chateau Mike's. Sometimes they would rendezvous for lunch. They both traveled a lot with their work, even to the same cities, but never at the same time. And they would always reconnect when they were home long enough, though. After 2 years of hanging out, Mike relocated to Oregon for work. They stayed in touch over the phone and could still talk about anything. Mike wasn't going to let distance ruin his, lunch. He would invite Mercy to visit.
Come visit.
But Mercy had her day planner filled with work obligations and kids' activities.
Sorry, I can't.
Come visit.
Sorry, I can't.
He continued to ask her to visit, but no matter how many times he asked, her answer was always,
Sorry, I can't.
9 months later, Mike's work took him to France. He scored an Airbnb right on the bay in Antibes and was still hungry for, lunch.
Come visit.
He asked Mercy to come out for a few days. This time, she didn't say no, but instead,
I don't have a passport.
Mike moved back to San Diego in 2017, and the two continued their lunch dates. Mike really liked lunch. In December of 2018, the two figured out that they actually liked each other and decided to date each other exclusively. It was about time. Mercy's besties were getting old and couldn't keep up with who she was dating anymore.
Let's be a couple.
Sure.
Sweet.
In 2021, the two made the gigantic step to blend their lives and move in together. Neither knew where this would lead, but they knew they never wanted to have lunch alone again. Plus, Mike was a way better cook, and Mercy knew a good thing when she saw it. The trips began. Mike took Mercy to Hawaii in August of 2021. That was the first time Mercy had been outside the continental United States. He was opening her eyes to a new way of life. In February of 2022, Mike took Mercy to South Carolina to meet his mom. Lucky for Mike, he brought home a good one and got the seal of approval. Mercy got her first passport stamp in October of 2022, when Mike took her to Cancun, Mexico for her birthday. Mercy's besties were growing impatient.
Has he asked yet?
He better ask soon. At this rate, I'm going to be married before you are, and I'm still single.
Not yet. I keep dropping hints, though. I think it'll happen soon.
On December 4th, 2023, the date they both can agree was their 4th anniversary, Mike and Mercedes celebrated by returning to the same restaurant where they had their first date 10 years earlier. Mike had a surprise in store.
Mercedes, will you marry me?
As long as you've made me wait, I'm gonna need you to take a knee.
Come on, Mike. Amateur?
Mercedes, please, will you marry me?
Yes!
And so begins the next chapter of this love story. Mike and Mercedes will finally tie the knot on September 29th, 2024. Please save the date. This is a pivotal moment in history you won't want to miss.